Welcome to another episode of the Plant-Based Jan Adventure series. It's easy to eat healthy at home. I'm here to show you it can be done on the road too. I think we found Utah's most scenic drive. It is just insane. Seen this at all. I think it's a secret one. This road is just crazy, beautiful, surreal. It's kind of hard to believe we're even on planet Earth. I pinch myself. It should be, you know, I'm almost thinking like this 13 miles of road should be a national park. It's unbelievable. Some people pronounce the state of Utah be-Utah-ful. Beautiful Utah has some insanely beautiful landscapes, colors, and roads, like the Shafer Trail in Canyonlands National Park. Check out my video on that. I stumbled onto another road that seemed like we were in a fake movie set, a Disney-like nature scene, but it was real. And it's just right outside of Arches National Park, a few miles from Moab, Utah. Stay tuned, I'm going to take you there. Here's how I discovered this road, the Onion Creek Road. It was by accident, totally random. So we're hiking the Fisher Towers Trail. This trail is really something else. It's a favorite spot for rock climbers. When you look up, you can see profiles at the very top of some of these sheer walls and some of these monoliths, and you see little profiles of people. And then you'll see them scaling the walls, an experience all itself, walking along these ledges and all of these incredible scenery. You can see that climber coming down because he's got the bright blue on against that wall. Just a moment ago, I don't know if I'll be able to capture it because they're so small up there. There was a couple people standing on the very top. There's the ledge.
Yikes, we gotta walk on that?
Yes. When you get up to the very top, at the very end, you're up pretty high and you have this panoramic view. Part of the view is this valley. You're looking down, and in this valley below, beautiful valley, is a very enticing looking ribbon of a road. We hadn't seen a sign for it off of Scenic Highway 128. When you spot something like that, you say to yourself, how do you access that road? What's the name of that road? Where does it go? We had to find all of that out. From the highway from 128, it says that this road, Fisher Valley Road, Onion Creek Road, is 13 miles. So I am assuming it just ends in 13 miles. We're probably 2 miles into it, and I have never seen, well, all of Utah is spectacular, but this is one of the most epic roads ever because of the color, the formations, these massive rock walls, and then of course all of the water down there from Onion Creek. It just creates all this greenery, and you cross over, and it's a very passable little creek, but it's just epic. Where in the world is this Onion Creek Road? It's right next to the Fisher Towers Trail area that I just showed you. It's in the United States, in Utah, and it's very close to the national parks of Arches, which is about 20 miles away, and Canyonlands National Park. Out of the town of Moab, you will head northeast on Utah State Highway 128. That's also called Scenic Highway 128, and that is a beautiful drive. The turnoff is just about 20 miles past the Moab area, and you will go past the Sorrel River Ranch Resort. You'll turn right if you're coming from the Moab area. If you've got a truck, you have got to do this. If you don't, you may have to beg, borrow to get one, to get on this road and to check it out.
I never answer to no man, I still go.
Back at my computer for a minute, I'm using Google Earth to show the aerial 3D view so you know what to expect for your drive. From the Highway 128 turnoff, you'll go for a few miles on an easy dirt road. You'll cross the creek for the first few times here on your way into the canyons. The canyons are where the roads get a little challenging, a little hairy with ledges and the drop-offs. I will say there's enough washout areas and rocks and challenging situations in the road to recommend a higher clearance 4x4. You may be able to get away with something a little lesser depending on the conditions, and certainly you could just turn around if you're not comfortable. Back up. After the canyon, the landscape opens up and starts delivering more types of scenery, like the many colored mountainscapes with all of those different colors. Then at the end of the road, towards the end, to get up into the Fisher Valley, there's a pretty good grade. When we were up on the top of the mountain on Fisher Towers, at the end of that hike, we were thinking that these mountains were green because of vegetation, and it's obvious so much more than that. The other thing I noticed is that there's been a few times when it smelled like sulfur, pretty strong, and it kind of has that Yellowstone smell to it, you know, when you're around those hot springs and stuff. So there might be a lot going on here. I don't know all the details because we just found this road. If anyone has another word for epic, please let me know in the comments. On this perfect weather October day, one thing I'm surprised about is I don't see much traffic at all. And of course, that's a very good thing because of some of the roads are so narrow and you would get into a situation where you have to back up. We did a couple times, but not much for the length of the road. There's a couple of Jeep clubs, single people just driving along. I think some ranchers are heading up to the Fisher Valley, and then some motorcycles, ATVs, but really not much traffic at all. And maybe that's just the way this road is, I'm not sure. One theory I have about very little traffic here is I think everybody is in line at Arches National Park. Maybe that's where they are. We are in the valley, Fisher Valley, and it's surrounded by this wall of red rock, just framed. All of this beautiful grass and sagebrush, just this, whole collection of green colors is framed by the red rock, and it's just unbelievable in here. Coming in, we crossed the creek so many times that I want to count how many times we crossed over on our way back, and I'm just looking for something to write with. I don't want to write on my Arches Canyonlands brochures. This is actually pretty close to those two parks. So I found a piece of paper. I'm going to keep track of how many times we go over the creek. None of it was very bad. It was all very shallow. And again, this is October, so I can't speak for other seasons. The other nice thing about crossing the creek so many times is that it really keeps the dust down. This network of roads continues up here. We just took a left on a road called Rose Garden, and it looks like it makes a little loop, and then we were looking at the map more. It looks like there's some other roads called Top of the World. I'm sure I know what that is, looking up at these huge walls. Anyway, we're gonna turn around now. We're in Fisher Valley. We're gonna turn around and go back, and we're gonna count how many times we crossed that Onion Creek. I should mention that this is October, and I'm just fascinated by the amount of green that's out there. Obviously, some is the juniper trees. They are evergreens, but there's just a lot of other green with the grasses and some of the other vegetation out here gives it this overall really cool checkerboard green look. But then you have the those mountains. The dirt is actually green, and there's some minerals going on. You smell sulfur. There's more going on there for sure from a geological point of view. It's in the books. Onion Creek Road, the Fisher Valley area, which is actually a working ranch I found out, is done, and that was an amazing experience. I have my notes here. I have the final count for you as we head back Scenic Highway 128 toward the fun, happening little town of Moab, and we're going to try to see if there's any buddies that we can hook up with. Anybody else who might be into four-wheeling, off-roading, any of that kind of thing. The count, according to my notes, is 32 creek crossings one way. That's a total of 64 creek crossings. And now, out to Moab. And now a quick word from our sponsor, Plant-Based Jam. That's me. I saw a sign in a beautiful place. It said, "Give plants a chance." My message is, please do check into whole food plant-based eating. Food is such a part of the adventure of life. Food is so important. It's what fuels us, and food can free us. The right food can free us from the chronic diseases that hold so many people down, and it's why I created this platform. I had to get this message out. We're at a time in history where we have more prescriptions, more pills, more procedures than ever before, yet more people struggle with chronic disease. 6 out of 10 people, and even more, are burdened with extra weight. Look into the mountain of evidence-based research. It's all been there. It's all been there for decades. There's a lot of great books out there by doctors and scientists who are interested more in healing and prevention of disease than just treating it. They cover every subject. One of them you might be interested in, from the biochemistry of nutrition to autoimmune diseases to cardiology to fiber and our gut microbiome. Everything's out there. You'll have to look past clickbait articles and modern media that are just concerned with views. And if you're wondering what to eat, well, that's my favorite subject. I've got some plans: pizza, French onion soup, a farmhouse salad. I need some clean, creamy, plant-based mozzarella cheese. This is so easy to make. Potato salad. I think I could live off this stuff. Steaming, easy, cheap, colorful, healthy, plant-based noodle salad that you can make in just a few minutes with totally normal stuff. I'm gonna make a high-protein, plant-based, cheap mayonnaise. We're on the road, and I was just thinking, I'm gonna show you how to make my ranch dressing. I'll show you how I do it. Come on. Easiest plant-based ranch dressing ever. 4 ingredients. If you like what I'm doing, I would love it if you subscribed. Thanks so much for coming along on this greatest adventure we call life.